Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Tonight I thought I'd do a quick tips video on something that I've gotten quite a few questions about, and that is how to use the Maitreya Autohide script with your Maitreya clothing to hide pieces of your body underneath. It's a really pretty neat set of scripts that are free from Maitreya that allow you to really make the most out of your clothing. So I'm wearing this dress. It's from a recent gotcha from Fox's. It's called the Wednesday dress. And it's hard to see, but over here on the right-hand side of my screen, I've got this tiny little box, and this is the HUD that I've created. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It's hardly noticeable. But this is the HUD that I've created that allows me to auto-hide pieces of my body underneath. If I take this off, right-click and detach, you're going to see that all sorts of pieces of my body start to poke through. And this is what the dress normally looks like when you first put it on. And I'm sure you've seen clothing like this, where you put it on and it doesn't hide the bits of your body. And what you have to do normally is come to your Maitreya HUD, start clicking in the alphabets until you get all the pieces of your body hidden underneath the dress. And I haven't done all of them yet. Clearly my arms and my back are still needing more alpha work. But that's enough for right now to kind of demonstrate what you would normally need to do. So let's go ahead and figure out how we can leverage a HUD that we can make ourselves to automatically hide when we wear and unhide when we take off this dress. So to do that, first thing we need to do is go over to the Maitreya main store. And I'll be sure to include a link to this in the video description. But here's the store on Maitreya Island. Go ahead and teleport over there. And I'll show you where to pick up what you need. So once you've landed at the store, it's easiest to kind of come over here down the left-hand side through this big left door. And we're going to walk all the way here towards the back of the store. And straight ahead of us here, this is the vendor for the Maitreya Lara body. And just to the right of it are these 4 white signs. And the one we're looking for is the one at the very top here, the auto hiding kit. It's free. I'm going to go ahead and right click and buy it. And go ahead and save it to my inventory. And that's all we need here. Once you have that, you can go ahead and teleport back to your home or wherever it is you like to do your work. And we can get to setting this up. Alright, so let's take a look at what we've got. You open up my inventory, and in my inventory I've got this box that we just bought. And I'm going to go ahead and right click and add that to my inventory, or to my avatar. And it's going to give me this bag here. And what you want to do is click on the bag while you're wearing it. Now you're going to get 2 pop-up windows. The first one's going to have this get alpha, test alpha stuff. And I want to go ahead and click ignore on that, because what I really want to do is I want to save this folder that the bag is offering me, which is the Maitreya Mesh Body Auto Hide for Mesh version 4 script. So I'm going to go ahead and click on keep. Now I'm going to go ahead and detach this bag because I don't need it anymore. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and delete it so we don't get confused by it, because I'm not going to need that. What I'm left with is this folder. It's got 5 items in it, a set of instructions, the actual script, and then some files that are needed by the script to do its work. In order to make use of this, you really have kind of 3 choices for how to actually use it. The first one is what I'm going to show you today, which is how to create a HUD that you wear on your screen. I like the HUD because it's consistent and it's really easy to create. Your second choice, though, is you could wear a prim. You could make a prim invisible and just wear it on your hand or on your leg or wherever that makes the most sense. The third option is if your article of clothing that you want to use this in is modifiable, you can actually take these scripts and just drop them right into the clothing. Now that's super convenient, except for one thing. Most of the clothing we buy is not modifiable. And so that means that some of your clothes might work that way, and other clothes would work with the HUD or your other choice. And I think generally it's just easier to go with one method for everything. In this case, creating a HUD. So that's what I'm going to show you today. Now you might be asking, how do I create a HUD? That sounds hard, right? Well, really it's as simple as creating one single prim and then attaching it to the right spot on your avatar. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and focus on the ground here, and I'm going to right click. I'm going to choose build. It's going to bring up my build floater, and I'm just going to click on the ground to create a cube. Now, honestly, this is really all you have to do. You could take this cube and turn it into your HUD and be good. But it's pretty big, and I don't want something huge on my screen. I want something that's small and unobtrusive that basically hides itself, but that I can still see that I'm wearing it. So I'm going to modify this a little bit. I'm going to hold down Control and Shift, and when I do that, I'm going to get these little boxes on each of the sides of the prim, and I'm going to find one of the red ones. That's the X-axis. I'm just going to take it, I'm going to drag it while I'm holding Control and Shift until I have a super nice thin prim, like a little sign basically, kind of like a HUD. And then next what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my Object tab in the Build Floater, because I also really want to go ahead and make that Y and Z axis a little smaller as well, because this thing is still pretty big even though it's thin. So I'm going to go ahead and just make both of those 0.04 just by typing it in, 0.04. So now I have this tiny little cube, and you don't have to make it this small. You can. Again, I'm doing it because I don't want it to really stand out on my screen. We need to do 3 more things to it though before we're done. The first, and this is really important, is come over here to the General tab, because it's just going to be called Object by default. And let's go ahead and name it the Maitreya Autohide HUD. You can of course name it anything you want, but name it something that makes sense so you can find it later. Next, I'm going to come over here to the Texture tab, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this default plywood texture. I'm just going to make it blank. Choose OK. I'm going to change the color to bright red just so we can see it really easily on the screen. You could also add a picture to this or change it to any color you want, or even just leave it plain white. Now, here's the most important piece. Come over here to the Content tab. Find those 5 items that were in that box that we got from Maitreya. Select them all and drag them over to that Contents tab, because we want that script and all the associated pieces to be in there inside of this cube that's going to be our HUD. And we need to make sure that those scripts are running, so come up to your Build menu, go to Scripts, and set Scripts to Running. I'm going to come up, set this running progress. It's going to tell us that that script is now running, and that's the important piece. We want to make sure that's up and operational. Alright, so once you have resized your prim so it's a little bit smaller, given it a good name, textured it and colored it how you wanted to, and added those scripts and set them to running, you can go ahead and right click on this and choose Take. And it's thinking about it. Thinking. There we go. And so this new script that we just created, this new HUD that we just created, is now in our Objects folder. So the next thing we need to do is actually really turn this into a HUD. And that's so easy. All you have to do is right click and choose Attach to HUD. And you can attach it anywhere because we're actually going to move it. But for my purposes, I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the top right. Now, if you look in the very top right of my screen, you see this tiny little red box. That's the HUD we just created. I'm going to go ahead and right click on that and choose Edit. And I'm just going to go ahead and drag it down here a little bit. I'm going to move it over a little bit as well so it's a little easier for us to see. But there's no reason that you can't just leave it, barely hanging off the side of the screen, just so you know it's there, but it doesn't take up a lot of space. All right, so there's our HUD. Now, let's see how to actually use this with this dress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and right click and detach this, because once it's set in that position, it'll always know to go back there. And I'm going to right click on that in my inventory and choose Copy. And now I'm going to go find this dress in my inventory. So it's actually going to be in my RLV folder, under Wearables, and in my Foxes folder. So just go in your inventory, find out where that object is. This is, like I said, the Wednesday dress. And in this case, I'm wearing the leather black dress. And you'll see I actually already have a script in here. This is the one that I created earlier. I'm going to go ahead and move that out of here for now. And we can see how we would do this from the beginning. So now I've got this folder, it's got my dress in it. I'm going to go ahead and right click and paste that HUD that we created. This is the red HUD we created just a minute ago. And I'm going to go ahead and right click on that, and I'm going to go ahead and add it back to my inventory, or to my avatar. So there it is, it's in that same position where we just left it. Now, what we need to do is we need to set up our alpha layers and then save them. To do that, you need your Maitreya HUD. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. You're going to go to the Alpha tab. And what I would suggest is you click Show All before you do anything, because you want to make sure that you only capture the pieces of the alpha that make sense for this particular item of clothing. So in this case, this dress. So I click Show All. It's showing everything. And now what I need to do is just come in here and start clicking these alpha layers until everything I want hidden is hidden. So that's got the belly part done. I'm going to go ahead and clear that out. And our arms need to get cleared out. So we'll click Arms. Notice here on my wrists that when I clicked Arms, it took a little bit too much off. So I'm going to go ahead and click those so that it's got that right. Let's see, I also need to get on my sides and under my arms. So I'll go ahead and click on those right there. Get that shoulder piece on both sides. And now let's get my back. So really the back's probably going to line up just the same as it did in the front. So we'll go ahead and get rid of all of this like that and like that. And make sure I get those shoulder blades as well. Now, I'm going to take a look all around myself. It looks pretty good. So what we need to do next, let me turn around here a little bit, make it easier. Yeah, come on, pay attention. There we go. There we go. Now what we can do is we can come over here to our HUD and we can click on it. And I'm going to get the same sort of menu that we saw early on. And the first thing I want to do is click Get Alpha. What Get Alpha is going to do is it's going to read all of these alpha settings that we just set up into the HUD. Then what I can do after I've clicked Get Alpha is I can click on this Show All button again. That will make everything come back. And I can click on my HUD and I click Test Alpha. And if I've done it right, it's going to put those alpha layers back on. Now here's the important piece. You want to make sure everything you want alphaed out is alphaed out correctly at this point. So spend a minute to look around your body really close to make sure that it looks exactly how you want it to look. And in this case, it looks good to me. So the very last step we have to do is click our HUD again and click Finalize. Once you've clicked Finalize, you can't make any more changes to the alpha. So if you've made a mistake, you'll have to delete this HUD and start again. But once you're sure that your alpha's worked and it's tested correctly, you can click on Finalize. And from now on, if you try to click on this HUD, it won't do anything. The clickable portion is gone. But if I come back here into my inventory, I now have an Autohide HUD that if I detach, is going to make all those pieces of my body visible again. And when I reattach it, it's going to hide all those things. So from now on, if I wear both the dress and the HUD, that alpha will automatically come on when I wear the dress and automatically come off when I take it off. And it's just that simple. Now if I want to, I can take my HUD, I can right click on it and edit it and just move it off to the side because I'm never going to click on it again. I can just leave a tiny little bit of red there so that I know going forward that I'm wearing that. And that's it, folks. That's all there is to it. And you can create as many of these as you want. Like I said, I've still got this copy of it down here. Let's see, where is it? It's in my objects folder. So it'll be way down here. There we go. It's right there. I can put that wherever I want. I can make as many copies of this as I want and put them in as many outfits as I want. And you're good to go. So that's all there is to it. You know, it's something that's super easy to do. It takes a little bit of practice to get good at it, but once you are, you can create alphas for any piece of Maitreya clothing or any body accessory or anything you want where you want to hide pieces of your Maitreya Lara body. I hope this was helpful and is useful to folks. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. If you'd like to see me talk about something else in a future video, leave a comment or hit me up in Second Life and I will do my best to create a video for you. I do have some other videos planned. Hopefully they'll come out soon and try and get back into the habit of making videos fairly regularly. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this, and I look forward to talking to you again in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.